Okay, let's show some more records. And I just got back from seeing this band, and they autographed the record for me, and I put the whole show up on YouTube. And at the 11-minute mark, you'll have to watch what the lead singer does. It was just the greatest. Anyway, this is their new record. I haven't listened to it yet, but they put on such a good show. I'm sure this record must be good too. And that's what the record looks like. Okay, now let's put this away. Anything else? Nope. Alrighty. Let's put this back in its little house. And this record, I should say, is called Continuous New Behavior. And here's the other band that played with them, or actually before them, Standard Issue from Riverside, California. And they were good. And I filmed about 10 minutes of them. What's in there? Ooh. So these records are new. I haven't heard them yet. But if a band that I'm going to see has a record for sale, I always make sure I buy it because they need gas money. And the Standard Issue, The Cost of War, looks like this. And this record is probably really, really good because they're from Riverside. And Riverside, California is a swell town. So those are my two new records that I bought tonight. What does this autograph say? Mike Cantrell, you rule. That's what he wrote for an autograph. Okay. I'm going to be showing the compilation records of the collection, and the first one is A History of Punk, Burning Ambitions. This is a compilation record with the Buzzcocks, The Fall, Wire, ATV, 999, Adverts, Slaughter and the Dogs, Stranglers, Vibrators, X-Ray Specs, Swell Maps, GBH, Dead Kennedys, Exploited, The Ruts, Killing Joke, Cockney Rejects, Adam and the Ants. This is just a little atom bomb of a comp. So if you see this, don't be afraid to pick it up. There are a ton of good songs on it. And here's another compilation, 10-inch. Excuse me. And this one has The Frantics, Tiger Army, Swingin' Utters, The Gain, Pinhead Circus, Zoinks, AFI, and this one is pretty good. And it's called Punk Fiction. Okay, this isn't a, well, I guess this is a compilation. This is called Soft and Sweet, the Three Songs String Orchestra, and I bought it just for the cover. One of the best record covers ever, and it even has a picture of Diglett on it. Okay, this thing. This is a tribute to Poison Idea. It's called Hangover Heart Attack, and it's a bunch of bands from Europe, and they're doing Poison Idea songs. This thing, these versions of these Poison Idea songs are as good as the originals. This record is perfection. If you don't have it, buy it. Yeah, what record label is it on? It doesn't even say. No, Farewell Records. Anyway, this thing is perfect. Okay, this one is called Another Damned Seattle Compilation, and it's a bunch of bands from the Seattle area doing songs by the great band The Damned. And this one is very, very good. Definitely worth picking up, and it is on Musical Tragedies. So it's an import from Germany. It's got Mudhoney, The Posies, Fastbacks, Young Fresh Fellows, Freak, Hammerbox, Gas Sniffer, Skin Yard, Coffin Break, The Accused. It's beyond perfect. Dang, that record is really, really good. Okay, this is a tribute to Sam Hain. It's called We All Want Our Time in Hell. And this one has got Ghoul, Acid Witch, Immortal Bird, Child Bite. And this one's okay. It's got a few good songs on it. If you're into the Sam Hain. And these compilation records will take more time to, I guess, show, because it's more than one band. This one is, excuse me, the soundtrack to a movie called Terminal City Ricochet, and it has Jello Biafra, the Beatniks, DOA, Brain Eater, Gary Hanna. And this one, it's got a few good songs on it. I'd say half of this thing is good. Okay, this is a our Mystic Records compilation, The Sound of Hollywood fanzine. And this one has Shattered Faith, Battalion of Saints, F-Beat, Bad Religion, Circle One, Still Life, Red Scare. And this one's pretty good. The Bad Religion song on this thing is kind of like a folk song. Sounds kind of strange. Okay, this is Old Scars and Upstarts, and this has Rancid, Degeneration, Dropkick Murphys, Electric Frankenstein, Union 13, and it's okay. I got this at a I don't know, maybe it was a DRI show. It was some show in Kingman, Arizona. No, I bought this when Total Chaos played in Kingman, Arizona, and they were selling a bunch of records. That's where I picked that one up. This is OI Chartbusters Volume 2. And the only reason you'd want to buy this record is for the Cockney Rejects version of the Motorhead song, and Accident singing Borstal Breakout, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think those are the only good songs on this. And I bought this record in Bullhead City, Arizona at a little record store they had there for a short minute. Okay, this one is a compilation called A Slice of Lemon, and this one has a Pansy Division song on it that's really good. And that would yeah, that's it. That'd probably be the only reason why you'd buy this, is for that one Pansy Division song. But it's a double LP, and there are a ton of bands on it. Okay, this is the Satyricon, the album, and the Satyricon was a little place where they had punk rock bands play in the 80s in Portland, Oregon. And this one has Poison Idea singing Plastic Bomb. It's got the Oily Bloodmen, Sweaty Nipples, Crazy Eights, and a bunch of other funky little Portland, Oregon bands. Oh boy, here's this masterpiece. This is 20 bands trash 20 songs to find the way to Sesame Street. And this one is worth buying just for the Pounded Clown singing Ladybug Picnic. It also has Corrupted Peasant Farmers on it, Haggis, The Nobodies, Schlong, Baba Booey, but the main song on this is The Pounded Clown, Ladybug Picnic. That is worth the price of this album alone. Okay, this one is called Teenage Time Killers. And this one I thought was going to be better than what it is. But it does have Jello Biafra singing a song on it, and it's just a bunch of bands that I never really heard of before. And I think it has Lee Ving from Fear on it, but it's not that good. It's worth about $5, even though it's a double LP. And here's one that's worth more than $5. I'd say this is worth $15. And this is the Maximum Rock and Roll, an international compilation. And this one has the Crucifix on it, and that's the reason why you'd buy this. The main reason is for that Crucifix song. But it does have a bunch of other bands that are like thrash punk, like Raw Power and Ratus and NOTA. So if you see this in the record store, tell them you'll give them $15 for it. Okay, here's another Maximum Rock and Roll Presents. This one's called They Don't Get Paid, Don't Get Laid, but boy do they work hard. And this one's okay. Not as good as the one that I just showed you, but it's worth like $10. It's got a bunch of bands from the Bay Area on it, and a bunch of bands not from the Bay Area. But it has Nausea, Screeching Weasel, Jawbox, No Answers, Endless Struggle. Oh, this one's good. This is Live from the Mask. And this one has the Weirdos, the Bags, the Germs, the Skulls, the Eyes, the Dickies, F-Word, Alley Cats, Zeros, Randoms, Black Randy. It's all recorded live at the Mask, which was a great little place in Hollywood in the late 70s, where all these wild punk rock bands would play. So if you see this, definitely buy it if you're into late 70s Los Angeles punk rock. If not, don't buy it. You won't like it. Okay, this one is Saturday Morning, Cartoons Greatest Hits. The only reason why you'd buy this is the Ramones singing Spider-Man and the Butthole Surfers singing Underdog. Barring that, there's just not much good on this, except for those two. It is freezing in this house. I turned the heat off when I went to the show tonight, and now I'm waiting for it to heat up. Okay, this is Live at Target, February 24th, 1980, with Flipper, Nervous Gender, Fatrix, and Uns. This one is incredibly strange and incredibly worth buying. Okay, this is Punk and Disorderly. It's got a bunch of punk rock bands from the early 80s from England, except the Dead Kennedys are on here. They're the only non-UK band or non-European band on this. But this one's definitely worth buying. There are a ton of great songs on this thing. And what's the best song? Oh, Chaos UK singing 4 Minute Warning. That's the standout. Next up, Flipside Vinyl Fanzine Volume 1. This baby has got Black Market Baby on it. Scream, the FUs, Gay Cowboys in Bondage, Government Issue, Plain Rap, the Freeze, the Dickies, Kraut, TSOL, Adrenaline OD. This thing's a monster, just like it shows on the back. If somebody wants $20 for this, you are getting a great deal. Okay, here is a Killed by Death compilation. This is number 2. Raw, rare, punk rock, 77 to 82. Excuse me. And the main reason to buy this is the song by The Freeze is great. The song by The Mad is just wonderful. Freestone is on this thing. Nervous Eaters. The Eat is on this. The Mentally Ill. Really Red. Psychosurgeons. Child Molester. Oh, again, this thing is just perfect. Ooh, and here's another good one. This is Killed by Death, number 14. This has got Vom, The Feeders, Vomit Visions. It's got, what's another great band on this thing? Jimmy La Lumia and the Psychotic Frogs singing Eleanor Rigby. That one is, it's the standout for this. That song is so funny and so perfect. So if you see this with the, I think that's Frank Discussion on the cover from The Feeders, put it in the basket. Okay, this one is Haunted House of Horror, the creepiest movie music ever. Original soundtrack recordings from movies like House of Usher, The Bad Seed, Carnival of Souls, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Psycho, and this thing isn't that good. In fact, I would say don't buy this. I was kind of disappointed with it. It has the theme from Psycho, and then that's about it. So, yeah, this really isn't worth it. But this one is. This is the Rhino Brothers Presents The World's Worst Records Volume 2. And this one has the Trogs. And what else does this thing have on it? Oh, it's got the Nag. The main reason why you'd buy this is for the Trogs. Oh, and it's got Teenage Enema Nurses in Bondage by Killer Pussy. That one also is good. This one is worth $5. This one is worth $105. This is the Rhino Brothers Presents The World's Worst Records. And this one, oh geez, it has Edith Massey on it. It's got the Temple City Kazoo Orchestra, the legendary Stardust Cowboys, Wildman Fisher, Johnny Masick, the Turtles, Barnes and Barnes, Ogden Etzel, and it has the Barf Bag. And yeah, go on Discogs, look this thing up, and give them whatever they want for it. Okay, and here's another Rhino Brothers, Circus Royale, 10 Great Rhino Acts on 1 LP. And this one's really good. It's got Barnes and Barnes on it, and Ogden Etzel again. But the main reason why you'd want to buy this is for the KGB Chicken. I think it's... yeah, it's the last song on side 1. You've never heard anything like it. And that's the reason you'd pick this up. Here's another copy of The World's Worst Records. And that's the picture under the Barf Bag. Alright, this is Hell Comes to Your House. This is a wonderful compilation with 45 Grave, Christian Death, 100 Flowers, The Conservatives, Modern Warfare, Legal Weapon, Social Distortion, Red Cross. This thing has it all. It's almost like I'm trying to sell you these records. Okay, this is The Decline of Western Civilization with the Alice Bag Band, Fear. I'm sure you all know this thing and you know how great it is. Okay, these are 4 records that I picked up at shows here in the Detroit area, and these are compilations called Killed by Meth, Rust Belt Rockers. And it's a bunch of bands from the Rust Belt. And some of them are really good, like Werewolf Jones, Lost System, The Resource Network, Muzzy, Mr. Clit and the Pink Cigarettes, the Ouija Boys. This thing is worth getting. And that was volume 3. Here's volume 4. And this one it's more the same, but it's not the same bands, but it sounds just like thrashy, garage, punk rock. It's really great. But I should show you these in order because there are 4 of them. And it's like they tell a little story about this couple. Here we go. So the couple meets outside of, what is that? A liquor store and a pawn shop. And then it looks like they're hooked on drugs. They have a baby and they're selling all their stuff to buy drugs. And then they have a barbecue where they barbecue the dog because they spent all their money on drugs and they wanted to eat, but all they had was the dog. And this one, their trailer blows up due to a meth explosion and they get killed. So buy all 4 and you will discover dozens of bands from the Rust Belt that you never knew existed. And you makes you wonder how you lived without them. Okay, this is The Return of the Living Dead original soundtrack. And this one is the glow in the dark version. And I've never seen this movie. I'm sure most people have, but I've never seen it. I just have the record of it. But it has Rocky Erickson, TSOL, 45 Grave, The Cramps, The Damned. Bunch of good bands on it. And here is the regular version. This is not glow in the dark, but it's the same record. Okay, this one is Oops, Wrong Stereotype, an Alternative Tentacles compilation. And this one has No Means No, and Tragic Mulatto, and Alice Donut, Christian Lunch, Jello Biafra. But the main reason to buy this is for the Alice Donut song. The Alice Donut song that is on there is, or that's on this, is Lisa's Father. That song is the reason you buy this album. Okay, here's a compilation of like crust punk from Europe. And this one, what is this one called? Whispers. Yeah, this is the Whispers compilation. And this one does something kind of neat. It has a bonus 7-inch with it, and it has a little pocket right there for the 7-inch. More bands should do that. And what are some bands on this that people might know about? Fleas and Lice are on this. Misery, Angst, and Doom is on this. What's another? Dirt, Acid Rain Dance, the Slimy Venereal Diseases. So anyway, if you see this for $5, it's worth picking up. Okay, this is Fat Records. Short music. Excuse me. Short music for short people. 101 bands playing 30-second songs. I'm not going to go through all the bands that are on this. There. Quickly read all those bands. Anyway, this is a fun thing to have. Don't pay too much for it. It does have a Gwar song on it. The reason why you'd buy this is for the Gwar song. Okay, here's a new record that I just got, and this thing actually just came out. And I bought this at the record release show in Hamtramck. And this is Mutations from the Motor City. So this is a bunch of bands from Detroit. And this thing is better than good. This is really good. This is an excellent compilation. I don't know where you'd get it. It's on 442 Music. The lead singer of Detroit 442 put this out, and almost every band on this thing is just the best. And the album looks like this. And you should be able to find this on Discogs. But if you can't, then maybe you could find it, because I bought this from the lead singer. Excuse me. I bought this from the lead singer of Detroit 442. And I don't know if that was the only way you could get this thing. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure you could go to the Detroit 442 punk rock band Facebook page, and maybe he'd have some for sale. I'm not sure how many he made. It probably wasn't a lot. I don't think they have the money to print up 5,000 records and then gamble on whether they can sell them all. Okay, here's the last one for this video. This is a book and a record. This is Let Them Know, the Story of Youth Brigade and Better Youth Organization Records. And this thing's got Pennywise and Pulley, No Effects, The Briefs, Anti-Flag, the Subhumans from Canada, Channel 3, and a bunch of bands. 7 Seconds, and they're doing songs from other bands that were on Better Youth Records in the early 80s. And the records are in this part of it, and then the CDs are here, and the records are here. And then the book is like this. And I think this thing is still available. I bought this thing at a punk rock bowling a long time ago. But I'm sure you can get this, and probably won't be very much money, maybe $20. Okay. So that ends the first video of compilation records. There's a ton more. The show, the Cryptics, Yeah, you got to watch the video I put up of that, especially at the 11-minute mark. Just watch what the lead singer does. It was a surprise, and it made the show. Okay, bye-bye.